Both teams looking pretty calm to start off with. Flashball's actually sitting on the DPS, interesting pull-out for themselves there, but not feeling too uncomfortable. Big aggressive moves by Hong Kong Attitude, but it's just a tank trade, or tank and DPS rather, to start it off. Still pretty even coming on through for the opening skirmish, and it's really hard to say who has the positional advantage here, to be honest. Hong Kong Attitude do seem to be a little bit further onto it, but Flash Wolves are getting their tanks back into the mix now. Hong Kong Attitude now the ones starting to get forced back, and despite having that early time on top of the point, aren't really as entrenched as you might expect. Still plenty of room for Flash Wolves to play with here if they're smart about this, but losing Sinclair. They do have time to get K4 back into this one if they keep it alive for long enough, but they're out of defensive ultimates now without that Transcendence available, and Sinclair can just use extra mileage out of his. They lose Shaolin though, so they might just pull back off this one, let it go over to Flash Wolves, let them draw out some more ultimates, and then maybe commit to it after the fact. Picking up Sinclair on the back end is nice, gives them a bit more room to play with, but he will still have the ultimate when he comes back into the fray.
And Hong Kong Attitude, they stalled out for a little bit longer there. They managed to get to 89%, but they're still in a lot of trouble because they're the ones who have to recap here. Hong Kong Attitude do not have initiative. Flash Wolves do, and Flash Wolves should absolutely use an initiative. If you didn't notice yet, came over and now changed onto the Diva. Both teams running the exact same composition.
Yeah.
And I expect Bacon Jack to pull out really huge here, and if not, Sinclair can always bring things back in line.
All right, well, here's an early open actually from K4.
That's
trying to stop the
punish.
dive, but that's big. Jongi getting onto him. Adds the Transcendence out, though. That's the only thing the Hong Kong Attitude really needed to overcome, but they don't have the DPS left for it anymore, having lost K4, and now Jin Kao out of the mech. Shaolin, unless he does something crazy here, probably can't pull it off on his own, unless they somehow keep this alive long enough for K4 to get back in. Jongi as well, closing it out on Jin Kao. Yeah, Flash Wolves are a bit too entrenched in this one, and nothing crazy coming out of Shaolin means that Flash Wolves should have no trouble securing this first one.
You're at the stage where K4 is even contesting the point himself. Now, as soon as he goes down, all of Hong Kong Attitude's chances to get this go to zero. Exactly as we see. We needed
can just kind of clean up some of their committing in this second round here. Early skirmish already falling in the favor of Flash Wolves though, as Ating gets picked off, and now Jin Kao, who does, no, he gets taken out of the mech right at the last
This
minute
needs to be a
there.
fallout. Hong Kong Attitude cannot commit to this any longer. They have no opportunities for counter trades. They shouldn't be going for counter trades at this stage. It's just going to be a clean cap out for Flash Wolves, but it won't be any massive ultimate advantages just yet. Note that.
Absolutely is, right? Because both teams exhausted all of their resources, but Flash Wolves are the ones at 99% now, and Hong Kong Attitude, they haven't got anything to use here because they used it in the last
They
fight.
can't even
Flash
touch.
Wolves, yeah, Flash Wolves didn't even need anything to use because Hong Kong Attitude, they positional advantage out of Hong Kong Attitude, but plenty of room for Flash Wolves to come back swinging here as Hong Kong Attitude are going to have to back off and move towards the point. That's good pathing out of Flash Wolves.
There's actually really good area control by Hong Kong Attitude, and for Flash Wolves, they have to find an answer here because
Yeah,
they've lost the crucial, the priority one area. They have to re-enter from a different angle, and Hong Kong Attitudes, you know, they have the ball on their side of the court right now.
Yeah, it was a good reaction by a lot.
It's a really even fight now. Both teams got a decent amount of ults.
Yeah,
Salberry committed by Realment as well, so it's going to be the final fight no matter what.
Good timing on Realment's one there, actually. Now the Transcendence as well to keep this one going. Hong Kong Attitude, the only ones losing members here.
Misses.
And Mango's Transcendence have already gone out. K4, he's not finding much with this tag Pfizer, finally getting K-Momo, but he's already lost his own Diva. And now K4 going out of Jongi should be Flash Wolves securing this one nice and handy. No more defensive ultimates left. And again, unless something crazy comes out of Shaolin, never mind. I was going to say never count that guy out, but hey, there you go. And yeah, should be the final fight unless Hong Kong Attitude do really book it to this point. Flash Wolves looking to set up aggressively to not let that happen
This
at all.
spawn camp is so important because Hong Kong Attitude cannot fight at all. They have to run past, they have to immediately touch
Booking
the
it
point.
for the point. 2% to go. Not even going to touch it. Diva can't fly any closer to that one as she flies out of the mech. Flash Wolves, even though they dropped that one fight, they dropped it in the right kind of way, arguably. A lot of their mobility, but the trade back onto Sinclair could be pretty big now. There we go. Careful going down should mean that Flash Wolves have plenty to keep this one alive, especially with Zonda pulling back
Zonda's
quite
out of
handily.
position.
Yeah, they do lose the mech on K-Momo, but K-Momo has enough time to get it back, especially with the rest of Hong Kong Attitude kind of going down. They're committing to this one hard though. Suddenly getting a couple on the back end of that.
Zonda is so late.
Yeah, the respawn started to come through for Hong Kong Attitude. Zonda backed off a second time from that point because of the positioning out of Ating, and that's actually given Hong Kong Attitude the time to get on the point. Flash Wolves had a moment to recommit, didn't take it, and Hong Kong Attitude, they do take that opportunity, and hey presto, they've turned it into a cap.
They turn it a cap, but Hong Kong Attitude should be able to prevent Flash Wolves from getting too much snowball here. That being said, they drop a couple of members. They have to just consolidate what they have. Now, losing Jong again doesn't certainly help them. Flash Wolves are playing, again, quite disciplined. They're saying, we see you committing ultimates. We can decide to not play this, and now they are going to play it straight into Transcendence, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And now Zonda, he's going to struggle to get any kills here. It's just ultimates into a defensive response immediately.
Yeah, well, the only ultimates that Hong Kong Attitude had available were the only ones they needed there. I mean, Flash Wolves had stuff like the, the tactical visor, right? But Hong Kong Attitude sat on the Transcendence and Sound Barrier. They were totally fine, right? And now this is all just, the DPS throw show. That's all that's going on here. Hong Kong Attitude had the opportunity to go aggressive now that Flash Wolves are exhausted.
The game, Hong Kong Attitude still have enough time for at least 2 pushes here, which means they can save ultimates on this push and then recommit ultimates on the next if they want to do that.
Corner as well to some extent. A Ting with the ultimate running. Doesn't really get much for it, just loses a lot of health. But Zonda getting picked off, that's big for K4. Good position on the side here. Keeps the healers stuck in the base.
That's a lot of kills.
That was enormous, and that should be the secure right there and then. K4 getting Zonda plus both the healers. That's massive. I mean, how did Flash Wolves let him get in? Because they're running that Diva and using the Zenyatta to break
if a Ting dies,
the enemy tanks is huge. Yeah, and already Mango going down. There's a Ting, and honestly, they're leveraging these healers for all they're worth. Look at how many people are getting caught with these biotic grenades. Add into that the Orb of Discord, and they're absolutely shredding these tanks without having that soldier.
There is a turnaround.
There is a good turnaround here, mainly coming out of Jin Kao, but Flash Wolves is still getting kills, and Jin Kao is pretty much the only one on this point. The respawns favor Flash Wolves, and they should still be able to cap this one out.
I think Hong Kong Attitude can actually draw ultimates here if they commit. It depends if they really understand it's there or not. For Flash Wolves, I don't know. It's kind of a 50-50 situation where right at the end you're saying,
yeah, I was going to say, if this gets eaten, that is absolutely enormous, but he's going to try and position it. It doesn't there, it goes nicely positioned, going past the Diva for that one, but already they're hitting back. Bacon Jack getting a Ting is big for that one. The self-destruct out. Zonda is still doing work, and how were they unable to follow up on that Graviton? It didn't even catch a lot of members, but it caught the right members, right? But Zonda able to get out of it and absolutely wreaking havoc now. This is absurd.
I think it only caught Jongi there, which kind of is not good enough for a Drake.
Kind of going wide there. That was one of the ultimates they had in that last fight that they didn't use. And again, a Ting finds himself with the Orb of Discord in the corner, isolated from his team. They're picking this guy off at the top of fights constantly. We see that a lot actually when a Ting specifically is playing Reinhardt. But I mean, it's Flash Wolves doing it well, right? It's not a Ting doing something wrong here. And now they're just looking to blast this cart right the way through to the end. And again, a Ting can barely live for a moment here. That precision German engineering apparently not precise enough. And Flash Wolves.
And there's a Mercy on Flash Wolves as well, so they're sort of... I like to... This is something Blank really like to do as well. They like to run the Mercy in these very low time environments of time bank, and it will be really useful. The longer Hong Kong Attitude take, the more chance the Riz is going to come into play. And Hong Kong Attitude, I don't know if going for the cocktail was really the right move, because it did take a long time, and they still haven't really gotten a foothold in there. They're so low, look at that.
Yeah, they do pick Bacon Jack. They tried to commit to the point itself to sort of force Flash Wolves' hand, but the tempo res to come out and bring back Bacon Jack, that's going to be the sound barrier out of Hong Kong Attitude. That's all they really had to leverage. They do pick Zonda, that is a key one, and this time no res, but they've still got plenty of ultimates, but no, they don't use them. Now, and they still didn't commit the Transcendence either. They just kind of left the window open for Hong Kong Attitude to barge on through. Bacon Jack found nothing. Zonda got picked mid-tac visor, and because they went for a tempo res over a value res with a lot of time left on the clock, they actually gave Hong Kong Attitude an opportunity to get on the point. Hong Kong Attitude took that opportunity and ran with it, and now it's going to be a distance game.
The tough thing is for Flash Wolves is they now don't have the ultimates to recontest the cart safely. If they recontest the cart, they risk feeding ults back in Hong Kong Attitude, who are, by the way, are at a pretty good ultimate advantage. The real tool for Flash Wolves is leveraging the Transcendence as much as possible, but Sinclair can't use this unless K4 Dragon Blades. If he uses it before, K4 can choose a Dragon Blade afterwards, and that's going to be a loss for Flash Wolves.
A huge pick, though, for Jongi getting aggressive on that one. This actually may give Flash Wolves a window because they've forced the Transcendence out of Mango just so that he can stall out the spike. But Zonda's well positioned here. Yeah, but that's the Orb of Discord on him. Deep is going, there's a Ting here, and now Zonda ready to strike back. Nearly has Tac Visor available. Gonna open out with it, no defensive ultimates available. It's only K4 who can't risk going aggressive with that. He's too squishy against that Tac Visor. Ran down the clock, and yeah.
Wow, dies with it.
On paper, did not have the ultimates to do it, but Jongi getting a pick on K4. But this is also the same thing that Hong Kong Attitude were running on their first defense, where they got absolutely steamrolled, and a lot of it was a Ting getting picked. Already Flash Wolves are trying to target a Ting, trying to force the hurt onto him. Now they're splitting him off from his team as best as they can, trying to keep biotic grenades on him, trying to keep discords on him, and it's just forcing a retreat because they can't afford to lose the Reinhardt, which just gives Flash Wolves space to get on the point. Now it's Hong Kong Attitude who have to commit. They must re-engage because it's unsafe for them to try and hold further down the line. Oh, this could be bad. This could be very bad, but good retreat so far to come out. Again, try and take Old Faithful here, pick off a Ting, but they're going to go committing to it. The Discord on him and that Nanoblade, yeah, they're going to make it happen.
Where's
and
K4?
that was an unfortunately unfollowed Earthshatter, and indeed, where is K4? Still on that high ground, but there's no team to support him. Shaolin going to get picked off. That is sure to be a cap from Flash Wolves. And like I said, go for Old Faithful. Pick off a Ting first. They threw everything they could at him, and of course it's going to work. And then it was just about cleaning up the rest of the team. So despite a good Earthshatter that time from a Ting, it just wasn't enough, and Flash Wolves still have plenty of ultimates in the pocket to get past this.
K4 was on about 93 or 94% right at the end there, so had he managed to get Take Visor in time, could have been the difference. And I said, where's K4? Because K4, he was still doing damage from the clock tower. If he just managed to get Take Visor in time, he could have been able to maybe get a turnaround in there. The timing was off for him. He did get picked off in the end anyway. And now it's going to be really tough. They still have ultimates, but the distance Flash Wolves have to get is not a lot.
Yeah, not a lot at all. And like I said, they got the tool strip as well. Jungi already going for the commit here. And Mango Jai working overtime to keep the team topped off.
He's getting no kills.
Nano Visor, yeah, getting no kills. No Visor left now, no Nano either. Shell and throwing out the self-destruct. But they're not killing anyone. That one goes straight into a Transcendence, as does the Graviton. And then they pick off Jin Kao. That was absolutely disgusting.
That's a
they
disaster.
threw everything at Flash Wolves, and it got absorbed like a sponge. Flash Wolves absolutely mop up Hong Kong Attitude. They clean the floor altogether, and janitorial duty puts them 2-0 up. Flash Wolves looking dominant through and through.
The really impressive thing is how you mop up with seeing Cameron's point of view here, but I don't know if he's had the sort of impact he's been expecting so far. Certainly it's given Flash Wolves control of this upper high ground area on the right side. Now you can see his point of view.
He got 2 picks like right at the start, like literally right at the start. There we go.
One more now.
This is actually the opening that they've been looking for. The crucial thing here was getting CQB. They set themselves up there safely enough for long enough that they were able to wear down all the armor that CQB had built up. So the team didn't just have a sheer health advantage and then started to get a couple of picks.
There's really quick offense on the right side. I love the flank coming out from Flash Wolves.
Yeah, I do like the defensive nano boost though onto the Winston. I very much favor that move, but already picking up Mango and getting CQB plus his turret means that a lot of the entrenched position out of Hong Kong Attitude is being negated. No one did get on Flash Wolves either as they get K4, the DPS out. I mean, you say no crazy 5-6 minute defenses, but they get the ulting a Ting as well, and there's pretty much no ultimates left for Hong Kong Attitude. They've also just done a bunch of swaps onto a bunch of squishy characters, Jin Kao out of the mech. They're going to get time on this point, easily the first 30%, and if they can get more picks, they can get even more than that as well. Mango getting taken out, it's still just squishies, a Ting out the gate going to get completely blasted down, and you're a filthy dirty liar, Avril. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to do it in 4 minutes. Yes, they are. Flash Wolves, hello, a snowball where none should have existed in the middle of the desert. Jack, but losing K4. And I don't know if they can really keep this one going. That's big. Yeah, no, never mind what I was about to say because they have broken what they need now. Picking up Jongi as well. There's no one here to protect these healers. And Hong Kong Attitude off to a much more snowbally start than Flash Wolves were.
This is looking so easy for Jin Kao. He's just flying on through his diva. Here's a target. Zonda, pick him up. Yeah, cool. Get yourself Sinclair as well. Why don't you just pick up a Jongi while you're at it? And now Hong Kong Attitude, what was a bit of a struggle for Flash Wolves to secure cap 1, looked pretty easy for Hong Kong.
What was that? Was that a Harvey Norman ad right there? You're like a surprise. We've got Sinclairs. We've got
that can secure big kills that's a big deal.
I mean, had that not happened, they would have had a flashbang ready for Sinclair to stop that EMP coming out. As
well, I don't know if you can stop
back
him,
in. Well, I mean, they
it'd help you kill him.
They would have had the opportunity, at least. And without him, they really didn't. And like I said, that was all they needed for the defender's advantage to come in for Flash Wolves. This time, though, already going a little bit different. They're a bit more set up on the point. They've lost a couple of members, but they've got a third. They'll color themselves pleased with that as much as they would like to get more. But if they're not going to get more, they have to pull back now, which really means that especially the squishier members need to go on full retreat here. Not even feed ultimate charge as they go out. Flash Wolves.
In fact, it's not just acceptable, it's preferred. Being able to sit on 6 ultimates on defense is about perfect.
I like this one. Going very deep here is Sinclair, but he was a little bit too late to stop the Transcendence, which stopped up Zonda's Dragon Blade, and actually maybe an overcommit by Flash Wolves has given Hong Kong Attitude a big window. Now desperately looking to get something out of this is a Ting, but he's really struggling. They are finally getting a trade back, getting K-Moma, but that might not be enough to keep this one going. They do pick up Jongi, the sound barrier not quite coming through in time, and now actually the defender's advantage can start to rack up for Flash Wolves if they can be quick about this, but no such luck. Bacon Jack, he's going to really have to duck and weave to buy time, and yeah, look at the progress. That's all that counts. Even if you do it in overtime, you do get a bit of time added to the clock. So
You're going to get bled out.
They need them fast though, because already 3 ultimates here for Flash Wolves, and they're very good aggressive ultimates as well. But the Molten Core is up. That's a really hard one to fight through. So provided that Torbjorn doesn't get picked, there we go. Yeah, quick flick out on the Molten Core. Zonda going aggressive, but that's not going to pay off.
Down.
They're throwing everything at it, including that Transcendence there as well. And yeah, he is down a Ting. Good timing on his ultimate, and just struggling to fight through the Molten Core. Flash Wolves, they gave up their little moment of ultimate advantage, and they are actually running down a bit of their clock here. Hong Kong Attitude though getting picked off. This isn't much further left to go on this point, and CQB being the one down is actually quite crucial. They're trying to keep this one alive as best as they can, namely Bacon Jack here looking to secure this one out, and they might just get it as Shaolin and Jin Kao go down, and they kind of pull it out of the hat there. They did everything right.